How's it going, everybody? It is Visual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Wahluigi over here in the Monotype tier. So if you do enjoy these, make sure to hit that like button on the video, and the team I'm using is in the description if you do want to try it out. Made by Dr. Rip, and it has a Eject Button Hippowdon with max defense Stealth Rocks, a Diggersby, which is Choice Banded, a Landorus Incarnate, which is Life Orb, Garchomp, which has Choice Scarf, Excadrill, which is Choice Banded, and Dugtrio, which is Focus Sash. Looking at Waluigi's team, I'm thinking it's going to be like lead Krookodile with Stealth Rocks, with Bisharp, probably like Life Orb, Mega Sharpedo, most likely, Hydreigon, could be Scarf or Specs. Greninja is always Proteon because Battle Bond is banned in Monotype, so it could be Scarf Greninja, or it could be just like a offensive one. I don't know, Life Orb or something, and then Tyranitar could be like a lot of things. So I'm thinking, looking at it, it could be just like maybe especially defensive on the team. So let's just jump right into it. We lead off with Dugtrio because this is the first battle I did with the team, and I thought I had Stealth Rocks on it, but it didn't. So it's not a good lead, and it's pretty much there just to trap things. Really, it's not really meant to lead, so I made a mistake. I should have led off with the Powdon. So anyways, it doesn't matter because I would get Eject Button out either way, unless he knocks me off, but he gets up Stealth Rocks first turn with his Krookodile. Now, obviously, the Sand doesn't really do much versus Krookodile, but it does do a lot to a lot of other teams because we don't take damage from Sand because we're all ground types, but most other Monotype teams, they take damage, and it really helps out a lot. So we get the rocks up as he knocks me off. Knockoff doesn't activate Eject Button. He does get a nice crit though, which sucks, but now he taunts a little too late. And I'm just going to go into Landorus Incarnate because I expect him to probably just go for an Earthquake. I don't think he's going to double knockoff. That would be a nice play though, because then he'd get rid of my Life Orb. But either way, it doesn't matter because he turns out to be Focus Sash, which is, I think I've seen that quite a few times with Krookodile in the Monotype tier. Like, I think that's pretty standard, maybe, as a lead with taunts and Stealth Rocks. So either way, it doesn't matter even if he knocked off, because I think Earth Power is still to it to KO's Krookodile. But it would have been nice damage on me regardless. So in comes Sharpedo. I don't want to stay in because I think he's just going to protect. So I'm just going to go into Hippowdon, but he actually Ice Fangs on the switch, so I could have probably Earth Powered him. Unless he used max speed Sharpedo, which I highly doubt, because even if it's max speed, I think Landorus Incarnate still outspeeds. Unless you're Mega Sharpedo and Jolly Nature, then I'm pretty sure you can outspeed Landorus Incarnate. So, yeah. I guess he thought I'd really be slower, or he thought I'd switch out. But either way, it doesn't matter, because he still gets a speed boost, and I sack Hippowdon to the Mega Sharpedo to allow my Excadrill Choice Banded, Sand Rushed, Speed Doubled, and Sand to come in and click X-Scissor. Yeah, I bet you didn't expect that. We have X-Scissor for those dang pesky Psychic and Dark types. And X-Scissor can demolish a lot of teams. Let me tell you, I've experimented with this Choice Band Excadrill a lot of times with the battles with this team, and it does a lot of work. So in comes Bisharp. I was just gonna get some damage on him. I could have switched out, but I was scared of knockoff as he does go for the knockoff, and it's kind of good that he knocks off my band because maybe I want to switch up moves. Not really though, but at the same time I don't want Garchomp to get knocked off, and I bring in Garchomp if you're predicting the Sucker Punch. So that played out well for me. I had a feeling he'd probably want a Sucker Punch, and we get to go for the nice Earthquake as Checkmate goes down. So I guess he thought that I wouldn't attack him, and he didn't Sucker Punch. I don't know. Either way, in comes Greninja. Greninja is probably Choice Scarf, so I'm just going to switch out. I don't want to stay in and lose to an Ice Beam, but he actually goes for Hydro Pump. So I could have lived that with my Garchomp. I was surprised that he went for that. Like I said, maybe he probably thinks I'm just switching and predicts that. So I bring in Garchomp again, and I can just go for the Outrage to knock out Greninja as he stays in to go for the Hydro Pump, and he is Choice Scarf, so I guessed that correctly. And down goes Greninja, which is awesome. So last, I think he has Tyranitar, Hydreigon, and those guys are going to just get outraged. Hydreigon was an interesting switch. I didn't expect him to go into that. Maybe it was a misclick. I guess now he realized that I was Choice Scarf, or he's predicted me to not be Choice Scarf, and he wants me to be scared out by the Hydreigon. That's like a potential thing that could happen. Like, he probably wants to see if I'm going to stay in and click outraged. But even then, like, the risk of doing that kind of makes him lose because even though Tyranitar doesn't take 2, I guess he kind of hopes that I have to get confused, which I did get confused, so that's good for him at least. But at this time, he got the sand up with Tyranitar, so Excadrill can just come out. So his own sand kind of bites him in the booty. And we can click X Scissor and win the game because Hydreigon is not going to live an X Scissor from Excadrill. So even if I'm not banded anymore because of that Bisharp, it's still going to do a lot of damage because we're adamant. And Excadrill has amazing attack. And that is pretty much GG versus Wahluigi. So GG versus Wahluigi. And yeah, I mean, he probably could have kept the Sharpedo later on in the game. I think Sharpedo is a very massive threat versus my team, especially if he weakens everything to the point where a Crunch or a Ice Fang can knock everything out, because I'm pretty weak to Ice Fang and Crunch. So if Sharpedo, well played, could have definitely won, and maybe even Greninja as well, because I'm obviously pretty weak to Ice. And if he had Ice Beam with his Scarf Greninja, he could have maybe kept it in the back and just Ice Beam swept me. So I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure Scarf Greninja outspeeds Excadrill and Sand. So, yeah, GG either way. Next up we got versus Angel, and looking at their team, I'm thinking, okay, Psychic teams are usually like Light Screen Reflect, and a lot of them just like to set up, like whenever I play them, in my face. So, honestly, I'm thinking everything is just set up, like maybe Mew, Rock Polish, Nasty Plot, Meloetta, could be Z Celebrate, Mega Galate. Did I say Mega Meloetta? No, I said Meloetta. I thought I said Mega Meloetta. Mega Glade for sure. I don't think it's going to be Mega Latios when regular Glade. And it could be Swords Dance. Latios, I'm thinking maybe Scarf. Who knows? And Lele could be potential Scarf as well. And Deoxys Attack, I'm thinking it's going to be Focus Sash. Because usually on teams like this, I think it's like Deoxys Speed, Focus Sash. But Deoxys Attack could work too because it's more offensive. And it still does the same thing that Speed does. It's just a little bit more offensive and a little bit more slower. So we lead off with a Powdon because the Powdon gets the sand up. It's a much better lead, that's for sure, because you can get the sand up immediately. And yeah, I mean, if a Pokemon attacks you, you just get eject button out and go into Excadrill or something else and just demolish. And that's what Ground does, Monotype Ground. So he actually taunts me. I guess expecting me to go for Stealth Rocks, but I don't do that. I just go for Bulldoze. And Deoxys Attack taunts me and just goes down and misses a Psycho Boost, which sucks for him. That doesn't knock out. Maybe it does. I don't know. Because I'm not too sure if he's Life Orb, if he's Focus Sash. If he was Life Orb, that would have blown me back, I think. Because I'm max defense, not having any special defense investment. So yeah, I would have to hope that he's Focus Sash. But I still would have eject buttoned me out into something. And yeah, he just brings a Mega Glade, hits me with the Ice Punch. I eject button into Excadrill, and he has no switching at all to an Earthquake. Now you could have brought in Latios, which does have Levitate, which dodges the Earthquake, but he doesn't for some odd reason. I don't know why. I wanted to click Earthquake because I think Iron Head doesn't knock out Mega Glade, and I was just like, nah, there's no way he doesn't go. He goes into like Latios on Excadrill, because what if I'm Z-move Excadrill? I'll just blow it back, unless he's Scarf and he has, I don't know, does Surf knock me out? I doubt it. But he brought in Lele, and that is not going to live a banded Earthquake. Maybe I was hoping it would, or maybe he was hoping he would be faster because maybe he's Scarf, I don't know. But nope, even then, he would have to like hit a Focus Blast to knock me out. So I bring in Hippowdon as a sack, mostly just to get the sand up too, as he actually Dragon Dances on the switch. So I was really surprised by that, and then he hits me with a nice Zen Headbutt, and it's a Life Orb and flinches me, so that does some decent damage because it's in Psychic Terrain and he's +1, so that's really dope. And yeah, down goes my Hippowdon to an Earthquake, which is fine because now I can just bring in Excadrill and just demolish his team. Although he does have +1, and actually I don't, because I have Sucker Punch on Duck Trio and a Focus Sash. Now Sucker Punch doesn't knock out Latios because I'm only Jolly Nature, I'm not Adamant. But with the sand damage and the Life Orb, Latios should go down to all that recoil and stuff like that after Sucker Punch, and it does. So that's awesome. And also Shiny Latios looks really dang cool. I really love Shiny Latios. So in comes Meloetta. Meloetta is not faster unless it's Choice Scarf. I can hit it with a nice Earthquake. I'm actually wondering, does Reversal do more to Meloetta? I don't think it does. I think Earthquake does more because of stat. Because Reversal, it does more damage the less HP you have. And I'm at 1 HP, so it's maximum power. I don't know. But either way, it actually gets 2 killed by Earthquake as he goes for a Calm Mind. I guess he was hoping that it wouldn't, or maybe I would switch out. Either way, down goes Meloetta to the Earthquake. And I think he has one more Pokemon, which is the Mew. And Mew should definitely live in Earthquake and knock me out. If he wants to Rock Polish, that could be a little bit scary, that's for sure. If he's gonna, you know, get the Naspot or Sphere or not Aura Sphere, Nasty Plot, Rock Polish off. He could have like Psychic and Aura Sphere, or Psychic and like Flamethrower or Fire Blast, but he doesn't. He just goes for the Aura Sphere. So that's really dope because now I can just go into Excadrill and just knock him out. Luckily, I'm actually faster, which surprised me. I thought he would be like faster than me because Modest Mew outspeeds Adamant Excadrill, and I guess he wasn't gonna be running a lot of speed EVs or something like that potentially. So we knock him out with the Banded X-Scissor, and that is GG versus Angel. Next up, we got versus Athena, and looking at Athena's team, got Mono Fairy, and Mono Fairy, man, it's gonna get destroyed by Excadrill, you would think. He does have Mimikyu, so that can take a hit with the Disguise. Maybe something is Babiri Berry. Megarna can take an Iron Head, but as long as if I can get rid of Togekiss, I could just Earthquake everything, and literally everything drops. So awesome. Luckily, no Tapu Bulu to weaken Earthquake. That would suck. Or like a Scarf Tapu Bulu, that could suck too. Because Tapu Bulu is definitely a big threat versus my team. As long as I don't have Excadrill around though, because Iron Head just, man, it destroys fairies. So we lead off with Powdon like usual. I'm going to lead off with Powdon a lot. And Togekiss just goes for the Air Slash and gets my eject button going so I can bring in the Sweeper. So that's awesome. I get to knock out a Pokemon here with Excadrill. My Kimmy is just going to demolish Teresa. I was thinking that might be Babiri Berry for some reason, because why would you lead off with it? And then maybe he would bop me with like a Fire Blast or a Aura Sphere with a Togekiss, even though I think I live Aura Sphere, but maybe I don't go down to a Fire Blast too, but either way, it didn't happen, so awesome. In comes Mimikyu. He does have the Disguise, no flinch, unfortunately, because Iron Head does flinch a lot. And that would have been nice because I take a lot of damage from the Shadow Sneak and Shadow Claw, but honestly, I mean, I don't really care too much if I got the flinch because they're really in the back with the Mono Fairy type versus Excadrill and Sand. So I should give them like a fighting chance, if any, because they're in a very big disadvantage. Like I could literally just win with just keeping Hippowdon and Excadrill, and I just keep on bringing it in and in with my Excadrill and just keep on clicking Earthquake or Iron Head since Togekiss is gone. So I decided to sack Garchomp. I thought he'd go for like a Focus Blast or Fight EMZ. That's why I brought in Garchomp, but he went for Flare Cannon. I mean, I guess that still knocks out Excadrill, but still. That's why I didn't want to bring in like Diggersby or whatever. So I bring in Excadrill again, and I can outspeed Megarna, hopefully, unless he's Scarf, but I don't think he can knock me out with Flare Cannon. I'd hope. Because he lowers his special attack by 2, but then he gets Soul Heart +1, so it's basically like -1. But he sacks Florges to the Earthquake. It actually takes 1, so I was surprised by that. I guess maybe he's running some defense on there, which most Florges do, so not too surprised. Then comes DNT, which naturally outspeeds me with its Mega, so I'm going to switch out. I don't want to take an Earth Power. And I can just bring in Hippowdon and get the Sand up. Now I'm just going to sack Hippowdon because I was like, I'm pretty sure I win this. The only real big threat could be like Scarf Lele in the back, which could happen. But I'm going to risk it and hope that like one of my Pokemon can take it on. So he does have the Earth Power and he can knock me out the Moonblast. I could keep Hippowdon in the back though, that's for sure. But like I said, I want to see and if they can have like a chance to come back because I just have the most advantage versus this team. Like it's just not fair. So we go into Excadrill. Sand is limited and Megarna can't take a Iron Head, so I'm gonna switch out. I should have went for Earthquake. I don't know. Like I said, I kind of want to give a fighting chance. So I'm just gonna go into Diggersby as they go for the Focus Blast. Blow it back as they hit, which is nice. I like to see that. We're actually max HP Diggersby. I don't know if we can live a Focus Blast, but he critical hit me, so I guess we'll never find out with this Megarna. So now we bring in Excadrill again. Sand turns unlimited, like I said, and we can just click Earthquake to blow back Megarna. And then Tapu Lele is the last Pokemon. And I think Sand goes away, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, Sand does go away, so Tapu Lele is going to be faster than me unless he's not running any speed EVs. So I don't know if this is going to be Choice Scarf or Specs or whatnot. It doesn't matter though, I think. Because if it is Scarf, I think Landorus Incarnate can live a hit. And if it's Specs, then Dugtrio outspeeds and Landorus Incarnate outspeeds. So he'd have to hope that he's Scarf. He can live a hit from Dugtrio and one-shot my Landorus Incarnate. So he has turned out to be Scarf. He brings me down to my Focus Sash, obviously, and I get a nice Earthquake off, so put him in range for whatever attack I want to go for with Landorus Incarnate. Can't Sucker Punch him because of the Psychic Terrain, so it all comes down to a 1v1 scenario, which I wanted. Landorus Incarnate versus Tapu Lele. Will the real Lando please stand up and live this Tapu Lele Psychic? I don't know if it's a roll I didn't calculate or whatever, and we do live, and we were able to knock out the top of Lele with the Sludge Wave. And that was a really close game. I like that one a lot. That's a pretty much GG versus Athena. And I like the name Athena too, that's pretty dope. So yeah, obviously I could have probably just won with Excadrill, but at the same time I wanted to at least make it a little bit more entertaining instead of me just clicking Earthquake 6 times or 5 times and then 1 Ironhead versus Togekiss. Well, I Ironheaded Mimikyu too, but Earthquake would have done the same thing, really. Everything probably goes down to Banded Earthquake. So yeah, GG versus Athena. Next up we got versus Pain, and looking at Pain's team, what is this? Mono Dark type, but we have Gyarados, that's not a lot. He's not supposed to have that, but it's okay, I still battled him. I just told him for future reference that you can't have Gyarados. Even if it's going to be Mega, it can't be starting out as a regular Gyarados on a Mono Dark team. That's just the rules of Monotype. And if that's a Battle Ball and Greninja, that's not allowed as well. So let's just jump right into it. I think his Stealth Rocker is nothing because he has no Stealth Rocker. So maybe just Spikes Greninja, I don't know. With that being said, let's go. He has Defog Mana Buzz most likely, and Wish Pass Umbreon, and probably like a bulky Incineroar, a Dragon Dance Gyarados, maybe Scarf Greninja, and we've probably like Banded or Life Orb. So we lead off with Hippowdon as usual. Now this is awesome because if he does want to touch me, I can probably go into Dugtrio and trap him with Earthquake and maybe knock him out. Or maybe just go into Excadrill and just hit him hard. But actually just hard switch, no U-turn or anything like that. So I get my bands up, my Stealth Rocks, but he goes into Mana Buzz, and you know what Mana Buzz is going to do. He's probably going to defog. I wish I had Toxic, but I don't. So I just go into Diggersby. Now Diggersby, like I said, is banded, max attack, adamant. We can hit him up with a nice, beautiful return and do a lot of damage. Or frustration, whatever you want. But there's one thing I always get wrong, and that is maximum happiness. And that just like pooped on me right there. I'm like, ah, man. Diggersby. Why did I forget to put max happiness on this Diggersby? It does absolutely nothing to this Rocky Helmet's Mana Buzz. So I'm forced to switch out. I go into Landorus Incarnate because that's like my best bet to try and break through Mana Buzz, because Mana Buzz is a huge threat now. Huge, huge threat. Because I don't know how I'm going to break through it. So I go for Gravity. I have Gravity on this so that I can make all Flying and Levitators be grounded. And moves don't miss as well. Which doesn't matter for Landorus Incarnate because all our moves are 100% accurate. But it's helpful to Earthquake and Earth Power everything in the world when we go for Gravity. So now I go back into Diggersby, and I'm free to go for Earthquake because of Gravity. He has no switch, and Gyarados is going to get hit by Earthquake and Mana Buzz. And I'm pretty sure they both get 2-hit KO'd. So he stays with Umbreon, hits me with a nice Toxic right there. Luckily protected. I was really scared he would foul play, but luckily he didn't. Since I was Toxic with the Landorus Incarnate, he just wanted to rack up more Toxic damage with the Protect on the switch. So he protects me, or he protects his Umbreon. That's fine. I mean, I have another turn of Gravity. Anything that wants to come out is going to hit by an Earthquake. Even if Mana Buzz does come out, it's going to take some nice damage. But then he goes for the double Protect with the Umbreon. I'm just like, oh, are you serious? I could have blown this thing back. That would have been nice. Now, I definitely don't want this thing to Wish, so I'm going to stay in. Even if Gravity's gone, even if he can switch an Umbreon or Gyarados, I still want to stay in. Because I don't want Umbreon to Wish up again, because that's going to be annoying to break through that with my Landorus Incarnate, because I don't think I can with Landorus Incarnate if it gets his HP back. So luckily, he didn't Wish, but at the same time, or like luckily he didn't go for another triple Protect right there. But either way, he brought in Gyarados, and my Diggersby goes down to the Toxic. So I bring in Scarf Garchomp versus Gyarados because I'm like, okay, maybe you won't see Scarf coming, and I can 2-hit kill him with the Adamant Outrage. And luckily he does not, so that's awesome. And maybe I could 2-shot the Mana Buzz as well with my Adamant Outrage, because Adamant Garchomp just hits like a truck. So Gyarados is going to go down. He just sacks it because he realized he kind of messed up with the Dragon Dance right there. If he had Ice Fang, he should have went for it right there, but most Mega Gyarados, I think, don't run Ice Fang anymore. So Mana Buzz comes out, does 2-shots the Mana Buzz with Outrage, but he goes for Roost, which is a very nice play, and he's going to rack up some more Rocky Helmet chip, and also hope probably for me to hit myself in the face with Confusion. 30% chance for that to happen. Now, I don't have a switch into Mana Buzz, so I'm just going to pray that I don't get confused and go for Outrage and hope that he doesn't Roost. But luckily he does not go for Roost right there. He could have easily went for Roost for sure, but he doesn't, and he gets hit by that Rough Skin, and he is in range for another Outrage, and I gotta hope that I break through, and we do break through, and Mana Buzz is gonna go down, which is awesome. And unfortunately Garchomp is gonna go down as well, but Mana Buzz was just a huge threat versus my team. So both of his flying types are gone, and now I'm free to Earthquake his team. Mana Buzz and Gyarados are just gone, so that's awesome. So I bring in Hippowdon as in comes Greninja, and yeah, I'm just gonna try and get my Stealth Rocks up, but he hits me with the Ice Beam. Now I don't cheat Proteon, so that kind of worries me. I don't think he's gonna be Torrent Greninja. So I bring in Excadrill, as Excadrill should be able to outspeed Greninja since I don't think it's Scarf. I think it's just Battle Bond, which I told him he shouldn't be able to use. After, like during the battle, I didn't tell him before it because I didn't know his team. So he sacks into Sonora, gets that Intimidate off on my Excadrill, but even though I'm adamant Banded, it's a roll to knock out Greninja from the range it's at. And I hope that I get this roll, unless he's running HP on his Greninja, which is possible as well. And unfortunately, I do not get the roll, and he's able to hit me with that WiFi, and down goes Excadrill. But he does go down to sand, so that's pretty nice at least. So yeah, Battle Band is banned from Monotype. If you guys didn't know, there's a lot of different rules for Monotype in this Mogon tier. So if you don't know, you should probably check it up. Like, just put your team in like the team builder and validate it on Pokemon Showdown if you don't know. Or you can just look up the rules for Monotype. Just Google it or something like that. It really helps out a lot because a lot of people do like to use banned Pokemon. So I think, is it? I always see like Tapu Lele is banned in Monotype or something like that. Maybe it is. There's a lot of things that just like randomly are banned, but it makes sense because a lot of Pokemon are just like really good. So I know Hoopa, I think, is unbanned. Hoopa unbanned. So yeah, we both go down Greninja and the Excadrill. I bring in Hippowdon as in comes with Weavile. Hippowdon was kind of just like a sack right there just to see what he goes into. So I can switch into something accordingly. And the Dugtrio is the according Pokemon to switch in on Weavile because we have Focus Sash where we can take an Ice Go Crash. And we can trap him and go for a reversal and knock out the Weavile. 4 times weak to reversal, fighting type move, and down it goes. It can take an Earthquake, but it can't take a reversal. Last mon is Umbreon, and Umbreon is going to go down to the reversal. And that is going to be GG versus Pain right here. So that would have been really bad if he flinched me with that Weavile's Ice Go Crash, but luckily he did not, and I win the game. So last game we got is versus Dennis DD versus Monotype Normal. And usually Monotype Normal are like one of the scariest because they have Z-Conversion Porygon, they have Defensive Staraptor, they have Banded Diggersby, and then they have these 2 fat Pokemon, Porygon 2 and Chansey, and then Mega Lopunny on top of that. So yeah, it's going to be tough, but hopefully I can prevail and break through. Usually Chansey are like Stealth Rock and I think Defog Staraptor. Porygon Z could be Z-Convert, like Electric or Ghost, so got to keep that in mind. And hope that it's not electric, because we'll see. Well, we'll see. So we let off Hippowdon as he leads off with the Mega Lopunny. He can fake me out, but I get eject button if he does, which is awesome because I don't have anything I want to switch in on Mega Lopunny, so I'm going to switch in Hippowdon right back if he does do that, because I don't knock out anything with like maybe Bandit or Earthquake can, but I doubt at the same time. Like Mega Lopunny has some pretty good stats. I bring in Garchomp. Because it could bait the Ice Punch, and I just switch out. Maybe I could have went something else though, because I think Ice Punch does the least amount of damage, more than High Jump Kick. Maybe something that can bait it, like a Frustration or something like that. But Hippowdon is max defense, so we can utterly wall the crap out of Mega Lopunny, unless he like starts power punching, which, I mean, we can Whirlwind out if push comes to shove with that. So he brings in Chansey. I'm scared of Toxic if he doesn't want to throw that off on me, but the Root Sandstorm does not get Toxic, and we get our Rocks up. So we trade Rocks, which is awesome because I think he gets hurt by Rocks more than me because he has Staraptor and just more bulkier Pokemon, and I just have more offensive Pokemon. So really my Pokemon just don't really take hits too well. Like, they can take hits, but more so his Pokemon should take more hits because he has Porygon 2, Chansey, stuff like that. Probably defensive Staraptor. So I guess Banded Ironhead should be able to beat down this Chansey, and he actually does not switch out, which is awesome. I was really hoping that he wouldn't, because Chansey's a very big threat. It can take hits for days. So in comes Diggersby, and it's just gonna get one shot about that Banded Ironhead. Man, Diggersby just got dropped right there. That was beautiful. In comes Porygon Z, and my worst nightmare is here. It is gonna go for the Z conversion. Now I stay in to go for an Ironhead just to see how much damage it's gonna do, and maybe he's not gonna be a Z conversion. Maybe he's just gonna stay in and click like Ice Beam if he specs or something like that. I don't know, but most of the time, they're like a Z conversion. And he turns out to be a Ghost type, which is awesome, because this is where I was hoping that he wouldn't be electric, because then he resists my Ironhead, and then I barely do any type of damage to him. But I did do some decent damage where maybe Sucker Punch from Dugtrio can knock him out. So I sack Landorus Incarnate because I feel like I don't need him anymore, because like it's good. Like, I was really just a tough decision what to sack, because like Porygon 2, like it can kind of wall Landers Incarnate. Staraptor, it can take a lot of damage though. So over here I make a little weird play. I go into Dugtrio, but at the same time I was scared of Recover, and I don't want to Sucker Punch on a Recover, so I go into Powdon. But at the same time, I probably should have just Sucker Punched, because even if he recovers, like, and I go into Powdon, it's still kind of the same scenario. He can still knock me out. Maybe I could live a hit, but he did critical at me, so I guess we'll never find out. With the Ice Beam at +1, maybe a Powdon, I could have Whirlwinded him out. That's what I was kind of hoping for. So luckily he doesn't recover. Usually they do have recover, so I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he was thinking that I would knock him out even if he recovers. So, phew, threat neutralized. Porygon Z is gone. In comes Chansey, and Chansey is able to live the Earthquake from the range it was at, which sucks because I wanted Chansey gone. So I'm forced to switch out back into Diggersby this time. Now Diggersby, I wanted to bring in Diggersby because, for two reasons. Earthquake does more damage from Diggersby, and at the same time, I can't go for a return. Now I would love to because it hits Staraptor, but maybe he doesn't go into Staraptor. Maybe he goes into like Porygon 2 and I can hit him with a nice Earthquake. As you can see, that Earthquake does so much damage. And he goes for Seismic Toss. And also Excadrill, I don't want it to take a Seismic Toss as well. That could suck. So now he goes into Staraptor, as he could probably defog now. He could probably gauge that I'm going to be banded as well, Diggersby, since the damage on Chansey looks to be banded. So he turns out to be leftover, so I know for a fact that's going to be bulky. I just want to sack my Diggersby over here, so I'm just going to stay in and go for Earthquake continuously until he knocks me out. Because also it kind of covers him roosting if he doesn't want to do that. And it kind of forces him to reveal his moves as well, because I don't really know if it's going to be like close combats, roost, if it's going to be just Brave Bird. Which is good because he's going to take recoil of damage, which I like, because I need to just chip away at Staraptor as much as possible so that I can maybe break through it with like Excadrill or Garchomp. So he knocks me out with the U-turn right there, gets some switch initiative, but really it helps me out because he chooses the Pokemon first and I choose it next. And he goes into Chansey, which is awesome because I can trap this now with my Dugtrio, and from the range he's at, from Diggersby Earthquake, which is why I wanted to go into Diggersby. He's able, my Dugtrio, to knock out the Chansey with Earthquake in range. So in comes Megaloppy now, which naturally outspeeds Dugtrio, so I'm just going to sack my Dugtrio. I don't really need it anymore because it doesn't break through the Staraptor and it doesn't break through Porygon 2. So yeah, I'm just going to sack it. Maybe I could have Sucker Punch right there, but just an off chance he was like Substitute or something. I'll just go for the Earthquake. So now I'm going to bring in my Banded Garchomp, and awesome! He could have actually won if he switched out Megaloppy here, I think, but he didn't. Because I think he could have went to Staraptor right there and intimidated me, and then maybe go back into Megaloppy and just like click Ice Punch or High Jump Kick. Which is just so grateful that he didn't expect Scarf Garchomp. I guess people don't really expect Scarf Garchomp anymore because you never really see it, but when you do have it, man, it hits like a truck, and when it's adamant as well. So we knock out Megaloppy, and now I'm just going to start hitting Staraptor pretty hard. Obviously, I can't switch because I'm locked into Outrage. I would probably want to switch. At the same time, though, I'm scared of Staraptor 2-hit KOing me with Brave Bird. I think it's a roll to 2-hit KO Excadrill with Brave Bird. So that's what I'm a little scared of. So I'm just going to hope that I don't get hit by in the face with Confusion, but I do. So Staraptor is a little bit annoying, but he does go for the Brave Bird and get Rough Skinned and recoil damage. So that might put it in range for 2 Outrages, because he can't just spam Roost until he's max HP, and then I keep getting hit by Confusion. So now I'm going to switch out into Excadrill, hoping that he clicks like Roost or something like that and doesn't go for Brave Bird, because I don't want to take damage from that. But he does click Brave Bird, which is kind of good, kind of bad, because it is a roll, I think, to knock me out. I think, pretty sure. It's like he has to get like a very max roll to knock me out. But he actually switches out, which is awesome. At the same time, though, maybe he's scared of me going for Rock Slide and knocking him out. But I think Staraptor lives a Rock Slide from the range it's at, which is crazy, and an Iron Head as well from Banded Excadrill. So Porygon 2 does take the Iron Head. I'm just going to hope that like he can't knock me out, and I do get very, very lucky right there with the flinch. I think I should have lost this game, that's for sure, because Porygon 2 I think can knock me out Foul Play or an Ice Beam from the range I'm at, and maybe Staraptor can pull it off as well, because all he needs to do is just Roost over here, or maybe Brave Bird, I don't know, but I get another flinch versus the Staraptor, and that is pretty much GG. So I think I definitely should have lost this game for sure, because if he just recovered, if he did have that Porygon Z versus my Excadrill or anything really, he would have definitely just swept me with Porygon Z, I think, for sure, because if he didn't just recover on Dugtrio as well, because I had Sucker Punch, that's the only thing I could really go for, and he could take all my moves because of his +1 defense, because if you guys don't know, Z Conversion raises all your stats by 1. He definitely should have just swept. So yeah. Luckily, I just somehow pulled it back and won the game. with a little bit of flinching as well. So good old Banded Excadrill. And that's gonna be it for the Wi-Fi battles today. Very short ones, but a lot of them. Like all of them are like in like around 20 to 30 turns. So that's what I like. Very quick ones. And pretty entertaining. I really like the Monotype tier. I love it a lot. So if you do want to Wi-Fi battle me, any tier you want, doubles, whatever, come to my Discord. Link is in the description. Down below, you can battle other people there as well and talk about Pokemon there as well. And yeah, I mean, I know I see you guys commenting you want me to do double battles. I'm down to do double battles. I've done them before. But it just comes down to if you guys want me to battle me in doubles. Like, I don't have people challenging me to double battles. So, yeah. You just got to challenge me to a double battle and I'll do it. Because I got VGC, I got doubles teams on deck, ready to battle. So I'm just waiting. And yeah, once I get a few games with some teams, then I'll start uploading doubles for you guys. So that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Peace, everybody.